Today we have with us Saii Shahnazi. Sai is the head of developer ecosystem at IBM Asia Pacific. So Sai, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And Sai has a very interesting role, right? He interacts day in and day out with a very important segment, which is the developers. So Sai, tell us what your average day looks like.
Oh man, I think I'm one of the luckiest guy to be in this role. So working with developers and working with them in Asia Pacific, it's actually a big honor because Asia Pacific represents the largest developer population globally. So out of 24 million developers in the world, 9 million of them are in Asia Pacific.
Wow.
And over the next 5 years, Asia Pacific is going to remain the fastest growing region. And it's not only the fastest growing, it's also the youngest population as well. So around 4 million developers in this region, they spend half of their time on open source. One thing that I really find fascinating, particular for this region, there's a lot of growth markets. And some of the world's fastest growing middle class are happening here. And the developers, they play a key role in this digitalization age that we're in. So being part of this dynamic is fascinating, and with such a talented group of people as well.
Great.
Yeah.
So you mentioned this, you mentioned things like open source and the technologies.
Yes.
What are the skills that developers these days are looking for or should actually focus on? What do you think that they should be, driving towards?
Yeah. So without going into a tech conversation, let's talk a bit about how I think some of the best developers I've met. What is it that characterizes them, right?
Okay.
So I think some of the best that I've met, they are by nature very curious. They want to digest new information in different way. They want to test things out right away, and on top of that, they are very efficient, like trying to avoid building things from scratch because there are so many things out there, and trying to navigate around and deploy things without, again, building things from scratch. That's very smart. And that's for give an example, IBM code patterns. So we have a lot of code patterns that developers, they can go in, have access to, copy paste, and get started right away. If they want to do something with blockchain, they don't have to build things from scratch. They can basically copy paste a code pattern that is made and then get started.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So as marketers, these are the things we need to really focus on. So we know we need to know our technology, but out of that backdrop of that entire technology landscape, what are those hooks that you could actually pull to engage different audience and different personas? As marketers, what are some of the tips you can give us or things that we should be focused on to actually engage with this audience?
Got it. So let me start by saying what doesn't work for developers, and
Sure.
that is ads, commercial, things that pop up. Doesn't work. So it's actually back to the conversation we just had, that they're very curious, right? They want to test things out. They want to consume information that can help them in their job that they're in. So as a marketeer, I think the art is to find relevant content, translate that into something that can help a developer skill up, right?
Okay.
Grow and do hands-on. And I think it can be two very simple ways to do that. One is basically being able to set up events, workshops, having experts be there to do hands-on sessions so people can test things out right away. The other way is that with all the content that I know a lot of marketeers have access to, pick and choose the one that are the hottest and then have SMEs to come with opinions about it, examples around how it can be applied in different cases across different industries, right? I think that is a great starting point.
So there you have it. There you have your tech snippet right here, and as well as tips for marketers on how to talk to this specific audience. Remember that each audience, each persona is different, and the kind of assets, the kind of content you create, and the messaging you create has to be different. So for developers, advertising does not work. Focus on how to videos, how to content, get the hands on. So great. Thank you so much, Sai, for joining us. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.